What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to tonight's late night Anfield Agenda news roundup, where we have a bit of a breaking story around Darwin Nunez and his actions during the January transfer window. I'm going to take you through that story, give you the latest on Hugo Ekitike and what his price tag would be if he were to leave Frankfurt, and a couple of other bits and pieces, including the officials for the Carabao Cup final and the confirmation of a couple of Newcastle players who will miss it. So, as always, you know the score. We want to know your thoughts. Let us know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it. And, of course, we'd love you to hit that subscribe button. Now, as you know, we have our end of season show coming up at the Hot Water Comedy Club 3 days after the end of the Premier League season. You can get your tickets priced at £20 plus the booking fee with a link in the description of this video. It is an all ages event and it's going to be an Anfield Agenda reunion show as well. Myself, Connor, Chris, Steve and Jack will all be there on the night, and we hope to see you and celebrate what has been a fantastic season for Slot and the boys. Right, loads to get through, and I'm going to start off with the Hugo Ekitike stuff. Florian Plettenberg has said that Frankfurt are preparing for the departure of Hugo Ekitike this summer. The striker is likely to leave. Now, I'll move on to the selling price in a moment, but let's remember what they paid. I believe it was about €16 million when they brought him in from Paris Saint-Germain. I think it was an initial loan deal, but they then made it permanent. You'll see a huge markup that they're looking for here now, though, because Frankfurt director Marcus Kroesche has said that they're demanding of a fee of at least €80 million, so about 67 million pound. That puts him up there, more expensive than Matheus Cunha, right up there with a similar price tag of Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig. So let me know your thoughts on this one. Hugo Ekitike, €80 million is the price tag being asked by Eintracht Frankfurt for a player that they paid €16 million for. Now, we did promise you some breaking news around a couple of Newcastle players who will miss the Carabao Cup final. One of them is Anthony Gordon, and it's been confirmed by Sky Sports that Newcastle will not be looking to appeal his red card, so he'll have a 3-game ban, one of them being the League Cup final. But Lewis Hall is also set to miss the Carabao Cup final, as per Craig Hope. And again, Craig Hope has very much got his finger on all things Newcastle, knows what he's speaking about there, and it looks like that he was sent to see a specialist and he has also been ruled out of the Carabao Cup final. Newcastle fans will rightly be feeling we're jinxed, and I don't blame you guys. Honestly, if you're watching this, of course, as a Liverpool fan, I want us to win, but I do understand and get their frustration. We also have the officials who are going to be in charge for the Carabao Cup final. The referee will be John Brooks. The assistant referees will be Eddie Smart and Nick Greenhlake. Then Darren England will be the fourth official. Steve Meredith, the reserve assistant. Stuart Atwell, VAR. And Sian Massey Ellis, assistant VAR. Don't go anywhere, by the way, because this Darwin news story at the end is one that's really got me wound up, and I think will with you guys as well. We then got confirmation, as I mentioned, Newcastle won't appeal the Anthony Gordon red card. So the big story, though, of the night comes from Footy Insider. And they say that Darwin Nunez wanted to quit Liverpool in the January transfer window and was unhappy that a potential deal was blocked. Not just that, they go on to say that Liverpool would not grant the Uruguay international permission to discuss the terms of a move to Saudi side Al Hilal. Now, we do have to say this is from one source, one outlet, Footy Insider, so take it with a pinch of salt. But if you look at his demeanour in the game since, especially the Aston Villa game where he didn't even go across to clap the travelling cop, I don't know what to say. This makes me extremely angry at Darwin, because the only reason Darwin Nunez' situation at Liverpool hasn't worked out is because of Darwin Nunez. Not because of anything that you've done or anything that I've done. It's because he hasn't lived up to it on the pitch, and he's got nobody else to blame but himself. That's why when I was asked tonight by somebody in the chat, and I didn't even know about this developing story, somebody said to me, how would you use Nunez between now and the end of the season? And I said, quite honestly, sparingly. I wouldn't want him being involved in a meaningful game. So if we needed a goal with 10 to go, I don't feel comfortable putting Darwin Nunez on. We spoke about this before. Against Wolves, he came on as a sub and looked like he wasn't bothered. Then the Aston Villa game, of course, he came on, missed a really big chance. No problem with that. It can happen to anyone. But it's his attitude after that. And again, the sulking on social media, the two deleted posts before another post on X. And all in all, I've got to be honest and say, I'm at the point now where I'm just wanting this whole facade to end, this whole experiment with Liverpool and Darwin Nunez to end, because we all wanted them to succeed. I can't remember a Liverpool player in modern times who's been given more leeway and support by the fans, particularly the travelling cop, that are only amazing with Darwin. You always hear them singing his name and cheering him on, and to not acknowledge them, and then this story coming out off the back of it, it just makes me feel like the sooner the better we can draw a line under this situation and move on, because it just hasn't been a good outcome for anybody. If he does end up going to Saudi, I think he could probably have got a better move for himself, in all honesty, to somewhere in Europe, but maybe the money on offer there is one that he couldn't turn down or doesn't want to turn down. I don't know, but it just wound me up a little bit, so I wanted to bring it to you guys and ask you for your thoughts on it. Now, to put a more positive spin on this, Anfield Watch have reported a situation that Alisson Becker is very happy at Liverpool despite interest from various other clubs. And I wanted to get your take on the goalkeeping situation, because for me, I'd love a situation where Alisson stayed and we have him and Georgie Marmadashvili. It seems as though Caoimhín Kelleher is going to move on. Liverpool will be looking to cash in on him because he's only got 1 year to go. So that, on top of the news tonight that Ibrahim Konate is of interest to Real Madrid, that was reported by Le Parisien, and of course we know that Paris Saint-Germain are interested in Ibu. It just makes me feel like there's a lot of work there for Richard Hughes to do. You've got Virgil's contract, Mo's contract, Trent's contract to sort out. We know Conor Bradley's going to be offered a new deal. That's to be sorted out. Konate's future is to be sorted out. The goalkeeping department has to be sorted out. Diaz's future has to be sorted out. And that's before we sign a single player. So a man that hasn't been able to get contracts sorted in 9 months is going to have to get 6 or 7 of them done over the summer, and bring in all the players that are on the slot once, as well as moving on the players that need to be sold from the club. I don't have much faith that he's going to be able to achieve all of that, but I wanted to know what you guys think about it. I don't think we should be in a position where we're concerned about Konate, unless Liverpool really take their eye off the ball. I certainly get the feeling Ibrahim Konate wants to stay and play at Liverpool, and why wouldn't he? We're a club that's about to win another league title, a club that's, well, at the moment still in the Champions League with a cup final ahead, so hopefully these can all get done. But it is getting to the point now where the to-do list for Richard Hughes is building up and up and up, and still no real progress on the contracts that are out at the end of the season. So that is it for me this evening, my friends. Remember to let me know your thoughts on the Newcastle players who are missing the League Cup final, the Ibrahim Konate situation, and of course the price tag for Hugo Ekitike. 80 million euro seems like a lot of money to me, but maybe you think there's value in it. Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you guys at 6:45 tomorrow for the watch along of the game over against PSG. We'll talk to you then. Bye bye.